And then this week's session is on there as well. So if you go ahead to soleilmeade.com/VIP, it's going to ask you for a password. The password is grow with Google. Capitalize each word, and then you will have access to the resources. If you have any issues with that, just let me know. I will say, if you got an email last week, we had to send out another link because there was an error code found, but I'm here now. So if you want to access it, even online, if you can't get connected, let me know, and we'll make sure you get into that. Hold on, there we go. All right, so today's workshop is about making better decisions with Google Analytics. So I'm very curious, online and in person, who has a Google Analytics account already? All right. So we got about half of the people in the room. We got one, maybe I do, maybe I don't. Okay, and we'll check with you guys in this space as well. This workshop is going to be really great for if you have an account, if you're interested in getting an account. We're going to start with the foundation, which is like building your goals and the reasons why you have it. How many of y'all have a bunch of stuff when it comes to your business just because somebody told you you should have it? You got Canva on your phone, you got all, and you don't use half of the stuff, right? So hopefully we want you to walk away today with some actionable steps on how you can actually use analytics for your business. So that's me. I already introduced myself. Just a little bit more information about me. I am the owner of Soleil Branding Essentials. So I do graphic design, web design. I also do brand strategy and consulting for small business owners and visionaries like yourself. I have online on the Zoom meeting with me, my Google bestie. Her name is Vicky Sepulveda. I wish I could get the screen so y'all could see them online and y'all could like see each other, but y'all saw what I was going through when you came in here. So I'm glad that we're where we're at now. But Vicky is going to be assisting those who are joining us virtually, making sure that they have all the information, and they're going to be leaving feedback as well. She is the Texas West Grow with Google Digital Coach. So we are planning all around the country. If you ever have a skill set that you're in need of, you can always go to our digital coaches page. And on that page, you can plug into any workshop that anyone is providing that accommodates whatever you're looking for. And then I just want to share with you all that we have the 5-year anniversary coming up next week. So the Digital Coaches Program itself is 5 years in the making. So we invite you guys to come celebrate with us next week. Everybody who joins online next week, I'll be sending you something special because we want to get treats to everybody who participates next week. I also put the dates up for, well, not the dates, but the workshops, just so you guys know, like, this is a good thing about this type of program. You can tune into what accommodates you, you know, like if there's a need that you have, then come to the workshop. So we're doing a compelling presentation. We had a glitch last month, so we are running that back in August. And then we have a new workshop about establishing your domain, your email, and your website. And with that, you get 20% off your domain. Is that right, Vicky? Yep, 20% off your domain with that if you attend. We're going to do a watch party to kind of coincide with that website, domain, and email. That's going to help you think about marketing strategies. How many of you all have an email marketing system online? If you have one, put a 1 in the chat. If you have one in the room, let me know. Okay, how many use your email marketing system? All right, so definitely if you can join next month, join us. Email marketing is so important. Social media marketing is great, but social media, you are at the control of whoever is scrolling at that moment. But email marketing is more personal. It's going into your email, and people signed up for it, so they want to know what you have to say. So definitely join so you can connect and get more with that. And then we're going to do design thinking for entrepreneurs. So if you have a new product or new service that you want to launch and you want to kind of make sure that that service or product is vetted before you release it to the public. Design thinking is going to help you to sit in a more strategic space. I call it putting your CEO hat on, right? You're not actually doing the work. You are actually thinking about how do I execute this? And it'll lead you through some different steps to help you with that. So those will be up on my site probably next week. So yeah, just come on over and hang out with me some more. We won't be here next month, but I'll still be in the virtual space. So let's talk about data. I love this quote. It says that data makes your briefcase heavy, insights make you rich. How many of you all feel sometimes overwhelmed by the number of reports and insights that you see on your website, about your emails? You get a lot of it, but then how many of you feel empowered to know what to do with it? No, a couple people said, yes, that's good. If you do feel empowered, I hope you feel even more empowered after today. But a lot of us have reports and data and we don't use it properly. So that's what we're going to get into today. We are going to talk about insights. So when you define insights, what they do is they help you to create a more effective business solution. So it's not just a number, it's actually something that is going to help you move better when it comes to business. It actually starts to kind of evolve into your strategies, into your marketing plans and ideas that you begin to create. The problem is that insights can sometimes be hard to pin down, but that's why we're here today, because once we learn more about them and how they're serving our business, then we can have more control over the data and the insights that we receive. They should inspire action. It should inspire action from you to make a change in your business or an adjustment or to speak to a certain customer base because you're realizing you're getting all these hits on your website from, a certain region or area. And it should inspire your customer because the insights that you hear are telling you how they're engaging what you provide. So let's talk about using data. So we have data, which is what you obtain from users. It's like your demographic information and the behavior and the activities that they are doing on your site. Then you have analytics. So analytics is the patterns and the trends that the data is showing. So for instance, if you are showing that you're having a whole lot of people visit your website or your social media page from a particular area in the city, I have a friend over here, he has restaurants in Squirrel Hill, right? So if he noticed he keeps getting a whole bunch of hits by a certain area in the city, then that might give him an insight that I wonder if I should look at doing a pop-up shop over there to see, is there the same type of restaurant that we have here in Squirrel Hill offered over in Millville? And if there's not, then that might be an opportunity for him to look at expanding his territory. That's exactly how data works. You get the information and then you see the patterns and the trends and then you make a move based off of that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So here's a brief agenda. I'm sorry, I be in the screen over here. There we go. Y'all see the little pointer on the screen? Literally, when I'm pausing like that, y'all, that's me trying to get the pointer from my screen in front of me over there so I could move to the next slide. Let me go back real quick, just so you all, I kind of touched on this. We're going to do an introduction to analytics. We're going to talk about reports. So it's one thing to set up your, analytics accounts. Huge badge of honor if you have it, because it's important to your business. But if we don't do anything with it, if we don't know how to access the reports, read the reports, then it's just something that we have for our business that's good to have. So I really hope that all of you all could walk away with like, if I just look at this one report for the next 6 months, I think that's going to help me look at something different with my business. And we're also going to get into some advanced features that might be applicable for those who already have an account. You might want to start to implement some of those. And we're going to talk about how Google Ads and analytics sing together. And then we'll do recap and resources. Demi, if you need to give me a hands up when we need to take a break, just let me know. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So number one, Google Analytics is free. It's an absolutely free software that you can use to help tell the behaviors and the trends and the different things that are happening on your website or any property that you set up your analytics on. Does anyone have an app? If you have an app and you're online, let me know that I have one. Anybody have an app? So you get the analytics report. Do you have an app for your business? Yeah, most of it, I don't have an app. I want an app though, but I don't have an app, but that's another property. And a lot of people don't know that. We think analytics, and that's what we're mainly taught is analytics goes on your website. That is probably the number one source where those data are pulled from. But once we all scale up in our business and we get an app, then you can run analytics on your app too. So then that way you can get that same type of data and information back from that. So let's talk about why you would want to use it. So it's going to help you learn the search terms and the sources that drive the most traffic. Why is that important? If y'all notice that people are, Janine sells seasonings, and if she notices that the search terms that she keeps seeing is rubs, then she might want to take that information and say, well, maybe I need to do a summer collection of rubs because people keep searching for rubs and not so much the word seasoning. So again, analytics is revealing to you. Anybody else, tell me about your businesses real quick in the room. Just tell me what your business is, like 4 people in the room. Tell me what your business is and what you sell. I got Janine on seasoning. Taylor. Perfect. I want to use what you all have as an example. Anybody else want to share? IT support services. Catering of Caribbean food and mental health private practice. Perfect. So I'm gonna try to integrate some of what your businesses are into how we flow through here. And also in the chat, for those who are virtual, please drop that information in there as well. I'm watching the chat so I can see it, so I can include you too. The other reason why you should use analytics is you get to see the demographic information for your most profitable customers. So you might go to, and you might see the report says that you had over 10,000 views on your website, but maybe a quarter of those people actually bought something from your website. So what you want to know, or in your case, maybe a quarter of the people filled out a consultation form, because that's probably money for you. Nobody's going to buy it on the site, but they're going to fill that contact form out to set up that meeting. So that 25% of people, those are important people, right? They're actually interested in what you have. Demographics is going to let you learn more about them. Is it more men or women? What's the age bracket? So that's another great reason to have analytics. You can also understand the content that your audience is most interested in. So you can do that by evaluating the traffic and identifying who is and isn't finding your page content useful. That would look like the report telling you that people frequently visit the About Us page on your site. That's telling you that people are interested in hearing about what it is that you offer. So if you have a special story, or if your beauty and cosmetic line was started because you wanted to make sure young girls felt beautiful and they can enhance their beauty, your message can be shown there, but you would know like people are coming because they want to know about who started it. All right. And then you get to evaluate the channels. That's really important as well. So analytics is going to tell you, where are these people coming from? Are they coming from Google? Are they coming from Facebook? Are they coming organically from an ad? That is very important, because then it lets you know how to focus your attention when you are marketing to your audience. Here I go with this clicker again. I don't know how I keep moving it. I think I just move around too much. All right, hold on, y'all. Maybe I did use the clicker last time. The tech guy asked me if I did, and I asked the other friends here that were here last week, do y'all know if I used the clicker? Because I couldn't even remember. Yeah, I don't know why it's,
Hey, Soleil, I don't think you used a clicker.
yeah,
The last time I did this, I just hit enter.
okay, I'm gonna see. As soon as I figure out which way I need to swipe it, just to jump over there, I'll be good. I think we're good now. So
Yep,
if
all
you
good.
all are in person or online, this is a great time. If you have analytics, you can visit this website, g.co/analytics. That's where you go to set up your site. So those of you who are in person and maybe staying after for the second portion, it would be a great idea to kind of follow along now and start to get that set up if this is something that you want to do. So it's absolutely free. Remember, you always want to use your account that your business is set up under for your analytics. So this is just a note about the version. So if you started your analytics before October 14th of 2020, then you might be operating on an older version of analytics called Universal Analytics. I'm pretty sure in the VIP resources, I dropped the link in there because there's a whole tutorial step-by-step on how to switch over. If you find out that that's you and you're in the room or online and you need some assistance trying to transfer it over, just let me know and I will help you as much as I can. So this slide here is about migrating from that Universal Analytics to GA4, which is the system of use right now. Like that's what we use to run analytics now is the GA4 system. So let's talk about your Google Analytics accounts. The slide that you see there is giving you a snapshot of what the dashboard looks like. It's going to let you visually see data and graphs and even artificial intelligence about what is happening on your website or whatever property that you have set up with your report. You can even customize things. So when you go to your dashboard, it's going to show you a general general setup of what they think you might need. But after you set your goals and you know what you're looking for, you can customize that dashboard to show the reports that matter the most to you. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the different reports that we have. So I'm going to introduce to you all Eva and Ricky. So we're going to use Eva and Ricky as an example throughout this, as well as me intermingling some of your businesses in as an example. So they are small business owners and they sell apparel through their online store. So up until now, they've pretty much been making most of their big decisions based off of their gut instinct or like feedback from some of their customers. So I'm curious, like how many of you all make gut instinct decisions about your business? Yeah, me too, sometimes. Definitely, yeah, so we do. So this is going to be rich as well. We're learning about analytics, but we're learning about making better decisions. So we don't always just follow those gut instincts. So Eva and Ricky decided they're going to set up their analytics accounts because they want to get a better idea of what is and isn't working on their website so they can make some changes and strategic business decisions. So let's look a little bit more about their gut instincts. So gut instinct is telling them that they created this new t-shirt on their store. They experimented with a different design and they liked the prototype, so they just went ahead and put it on their website. How many of y'all do stuff like that? Y'all can talk to me in the virtual chat too. Y'all can leave an exclamation point. I see those and I know that you are like amen to me. How many of y'all do that? Like, I love this new service. This is going to be so great on the website. Yep. But this is going to help us to not be so impulsive with those, but be more strategic and intentional whenever we make those moves. So what they did was they followed their gut instinct. They put this design up and in their mind that it was going to be a bestseller. And they said that it was going to sell to females ages 35 to 44. So what happens is when we sometimes make those gut instinct decisions and they work, we feel like they're going to continue to work. But it's always better to have some type of foundation on the decisions that you make and the actions that you take with your business. So what Eva and Ricky are going to do is they're watching now to see, is this design going to sell? Like, we think it's going to be a bestseller. Women are going to love it. It's going to be sold out in a week. That's what they're thinking. So now we're going to look at how analytics is going to help them to see if their gut instinct was really right. So this is what they start doing. They're like, okay, how are we going to figure this out to see if this is going to work effectively? The first thing that you want to do is outline your goals. So you want to have an idea of what do you want your customers to do? So if you're thinking about a new service, you know, you have the IT company and a new service might be something, maybe it's like I love services like this. Maybe it's hands-on for people who might be a little bit more technical and they're like, I need somebody to teach me how to do some things that I can do at home. I just need taught once and then I can do it. And you're like, I can toy around with that. Like, but what is the goal? What do you want the customers to do? Who are you looking for? And outlining the goals are really important. There's questions that you need to ask yourself so you can get to that outcome and that goal that you're trying to achieve. So you want to really keep in your mind for this next several minutes is the importance of asking questions. We're going to talk a lot about the questions that you ask yourself about your business and the questions that you are thinking about in regards to your clients and customers that are going to help drive your goals and your objectives. How many of you all are familiar with SMART goals? Raise a hand. SMART goals. Yeah, okay, so I'll go over it very quickly. But SMART goals it's a great framework to follow when you're setting goals. You want to make sure that your goal is specific. It should be detailed and not broad. Like, if you want to start that new IT service, you want to say, okay, by the end of the year, I want to have at least 3 new clients on this service. So go and get to 2023. I can test to see whether or not the skills that I taught them to do some of their IT work at home or at work, they're actually able to do it, right? So you want to be specific. You just don't want to say, I just want to teach people how to do IT, just space level IT stuff. No, let's be specific. I want to teach them how to do a reboot when they need to and how to, you know, make sure they go through their updates. So specific is number 1. Measurable is number 2. How do you track it? How do you measure it? So if you set the broad goal, sometimes it's hard to measure, but if that is your goal, then you might measure it because there's a specific landing page where people fill out a form in order to sign up for this program. And then from that landing page, you're having consultations with people to see if it's the right service for them. So because you have the landing page, because you're setting up consultations, you're able to actually measure the effectiveness of how many people come into the program. And then you'll probably have some follow-up to measure its effectiveness. The next thing, is it attainable? So we said, I think I shot attainable. We want 3 people because I mean, teaching people new stuff could be a little overwhelming sometimes. So if you said 25, I would be like, friend, that might be a lot. Like, how often are you going to give on-site help to those people? Are you going to have technical assistance hours where they can call in? That might be too much. So when you set your goal, you want to make sure that it's attainable. You know, set a goal with something that's in reach for you. Make sure that it is relevant to your business. So, you know, you are starting a program teaching people how to do kind of the base level IT stuff at their office, at their home. Now, if you said that you wanted to, you know, start doing, I'm trying to think of something that's absolutely not relevant. Because a lot of times we do something that's a little relevant to our business, but not like completely off field. Like, I'm going to go sell popcorn. I mean, that's completely off field, but maybe we do something like, well, I want to sell and refurbish computers, and you might not even know how to do that. So you want to make sure that the goals you're setting and the decisions you're making is actually relevant to your business and what's working. And, and then lastly, it's time sensitive. So don't just set a goal and just say, I'll get to it sometime. Give yourself a deadline and a time frame to execute and make it happen. So that's what SMART goals are. Eva and Ricky. So with them, they might set up their merchandise store and their goal is to decrease their shopping cart abandonment to 60% in the next quarter. That's a very SMART goal. It's very specific. It is focused on shopping cart abandonment. They want to decrease it because they want people to actually check out on their website, and it's happening in the next quarter. And they can use Google Analytics to find out how many users actually added things to their cart over time and then just left their cart. And they can compare that number over time to find out their effectiveness and if it's working. So I'm curious, what are some goals that you all have for your business? Does anybody have a goal? Drive more traffic to the website. Anybody else? Add more catering clients. Anybody else? Anybody virtually have a goal? So I want you all to take a couple moments and write your goals down. You know, whatever it is that you're thinking about, write it down so you can have it, because that goal is going to drive what reports you look at analytics, what channels you add and dimensions you might add, and what you want the data and the insights to teach you. So you want to also keep in mind that your website goals may even be more important if your primary business operations have been moved to the online space. How many of you all have online businesses? Right. So, you know, if you're operating mainly online, seeing that traffic and who's coming to your site and which pages they visit is really important. Okay, so I talked to you all a little bit before about asking questions, because this is really helpful for us to uncover what it is that we're trying to achieve and what our customers are looking for. So we're going to go into each of these areas and check into some questions that might be helpful to be asked. The first one is reach. And then we're going to go to engage and then convert and sustain. So with these questions, we are trying to uncover, you know, who our audience is, who are we reaching, how are they engaging with us, are we answering the questions they have, are they just coming to our website because they're interested, or are they actually becoming customers? If somebody that visits my website, are they coming into my restaurant? If somebody buys lashes, are they buying them again? If a catering person, you know, if somebody orders catering, are they leaving a review and you're tracking referrals? All of those questions, you begin to think about the journey of a customer and what you want them to experience to really help drive your questions and your data and what you're looking for. So let's start with reach. So we could use Eva and Ricky as an example. So when we talk about reach, we want to look at, you know, the brand recognition. How are people seeing what it is that I do? How are people knowing about my mental health program? How do people know about my cleaning company that I have? You know, and then how is that awareness happening? How are they finding me? So this reach is like the base level of information. Most of us can access this on our like Facebook pages. Anybody have like a Facebook business page? Right, so like usually when you go on there, you kind of can automatically like see the graphs and see how the insights and how many people. This is what that reach is letting you know who's there. So with Eva and Ricky, their questions that they might be asking are like, what are people searching for? Not just on my site, but what are they searching for on Google? We have a Google Trends, and I don't even know if we talk about it in this presentation, but it is an absolutely excellent free tool for you to type in your industry. You could type in Caribbean catering, and it's going to show you different searches that people have had across the country, or you can do it right in our region and give you an idea of what people are actually searching for. You might find that people are searching for oxtail because that's maybe one of the popular things people want. So, right. So in that, then that leads you on how you market and display things when it comes to your business. You also want to know not just what they're searching for, but who is searching for it. Is it a man or a woman? Is it a certain age group? Your reach questions that you ask, and you want to prepare these for your business. What's important? How do they find us online? And usually to these questions, you probably already have an answer, because how do you think people find your business online right now? Right. So Crystal says she feels like people find her on Google and Facebook and Instagram. So because you already answered that question, that's what you're going to be looking for whenever you go to pull this report about who's visiting your site. And you might see that the great percentage comes from Facebook. And then that way you can make different moves and decisions based off of that. So let's go to engage. So the engagement helps us to really answer questions about like discovering how people are actually behaving and interacting with your site. It's one thing for them to find it and to, click on it, but how are they moving on your site? What pages are they going to? Are they searching for certain things on your site? Do they download a PDF? Do they fill out a form? So again, we want you to think about what questions do you need to ask? Again, wraps back to your goal. You said your goal was to drive more traffic to your site, right? So, you can see that by just the general report, but what is it that you want them to do on your site? You want them to buy. So that would be important when she looks at our report, if it shows that people are on her shop page, right? So again, these engaging questions can be back to you. How do we make sure that the shop page is as easy as possible, right? I think we might talk about that in another workshop where it's like, is it easy for them to check out? It might be this one. Is it easy for them to check out? Is all the information there that they need? Are there different payment options available? So if you want them to shop, then we focus that attention on making sure that shop page is clean and clear and most engaging for the customers. Next, we have the convert question. So this is how we get people to move from just being a site visitor to an actual customer of yours. So the convert questions really help you to find out how that happens. So once people find you, what action are they taking? Are they purchasing? Are they abandoning a cart? Are they signing up for your newsletters? What channels are most effective? Where are they coming from? Is there a certain call to action that they're responding to? You want to think about all of those things. Taylor, with your business, when you look at that conversion, you look at the sales and what people are doing on your site. And if you notice that, the lashes is just like super popular, then maybe you decide, because now you're not moving off of gut instincts. Analytics is telling you that there's all these people buying lashes. So maybe you plan for the fall to do a lash collection or feature people wearing your lashes. And this is how you use what the analytics is telling you to actually make moves for your business. And then the last questions that you want to ask is sustain. And the reason why all these are important is because y'all, if you just reach and engage and miss out on converting and sustaining, then you're not actually making money, and then you're also not actually keeping customers. So all of these questions, this journey that's presented is really important. Even if you just have 2 questions or 2 goals under each of these areas, you are covering your bases to make sure that potential customers are covered from on-site when they find your website from the Google search, all the way till making sure they come back. And that's what the sustain is. How are they coming back to you? Are they leaving reviews is a good one. If they, for Eva and Ricky, if they bought a specific shirt design, are they looking at a similar one like that? Do they want different color shirts? And you can't find that out unless you engage with your customers and your audience and you track analytics. I know in my newsletter, sometimes I just drop a form in there to get people's feedback. Well, what do you want to hear next? Or what workshops are you interested in? And guess what, y'all? My email marketing system is going to give me analytics on how many people actually clicked that form and viewed it. I might find that a whole bunch of people view it, but nobody fills it out. So then maybe I switch and make it shorter next time. Again, this is showing how you being cognizant of the goals that you have help. So I'm going to go through some examples of reports that we use, and then we're going to move into briefly talking about a couple of advanced features and then connecting ads and analytics. Does anybody have any questions right now? Yes. No, so the way that analytics is set up is once you set up your account, you connect it to your website and they kind of talk to each other. So they know the different activities that people are taking on your website. And that's what they pretty much take all of that data they're pulling from all of the people visiting your site and putting it in the analytics. So they can see when somebody makes it all the way to the order complete screen and they can tell that a purchase was made. So it's pretty much like a code or a connection that you put in. So typically, like, and we'll get into that a little bit more as well. So typically when you go to set up your analytics account, they're going to tell you to do something on your website in order for analytics to know that you have an analytics account set up so they can communicate. Yep. So a lot of times I can't toot my horn too much because I'm not big into coding, but I know enough that it could be usually a code that you can drop in from, you know, analytics into the back end of your website. The back end working is really important. Any other questions? Anybody have a question virtually? You could drop it in the chat and I will answer. So this is covering the different types of reports that might be relevant to you. So we have real-time acquisition, engagement, monetization, retention, and demographics. So I'm actually going to go over each of these. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. I lost my clicker again. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right, there we go. So I just already read all of those to you, so I'll keep on moving. So real-time report. So a real-time report is going to literally help you see what is happening in real time. And you might be thinking like, well, why is that relevant? A good example that we usually use when we present this is, say for instance, you have the mental health practice. What's your name again? Kava. So you have a mental health practice and say you get a chance to be on a Lynn Hayes Freeland show. And I know she left, but we all know that it was a big thing when we saw somebody on the Lynn Hayes Freeland show. So a real-time report would be somebody like maybe your assistant or somebody that works with you in the back end of your office that is watching real time in your analytics while you're doing that presentation. And you make the comment like, we want you to fill out a consultation form so we can give you a free 30-minute consultation and you can give you a download of how to manage your stressors through the winter time. You know what I mean? Then now she's watching to see how many people are literally, while you are presenting live on TV, actually going to search that into their phones and things. So the real-time reports are helpful if you are in the moment somewhere and you can plan that out and strategically see like, hey, is this slot that's on the radio? If you do a radio slot for upcoming, for your business in general, and if you know when it's going to air, then you can real time see, you know, what's happening in there. So that is the benefit of real-time reports. Next is you have your acquisition report. So your acquisition reports show you about like how users are arriving to your website or your mobile app. They are literally helping you to identify users and new users. So it'll tell you if somebody is a new and returning user. It also will give you your traffic. So, you know, those of you who want to drive more traffic to your site, then it's going to tell you about new sessions that people are starting, meaning that somebody is coming to your website and they're engaging in a page or whatever it is that they're interested in. It's going to give you information about that. I want to share a couple of keywords in this traffic acquisition, just in case some of you all dive into this afterwards. So the traffic dimensions are like the medium. So it's like the referring channel. Where is this traffic coming from? It could be a CPC, which is cost per click, meaning it came from an ad. The source is where people were before they arrived to your site. So, you know, were they on Facebook or on Google and things like that? So those are important things to look at when you're looking at acquisition. Then you have your engagement reports, and that literally measures the engagement, the page views that are on your site. You can measure whenever someone is checking their account balance, because they do that on a certain page, whenever they scroll a page slowly, because that usually indicates that they're reading. So that's important. If you notice that somebody spends a long time on a page, then that means that you must got something good on there that they want to read. So you want to keep duplicating that data. Another key point with engagement is that analytics considers an engaged session is a session that is either 10 seconds or longer and one or more conversion events and has 2 or more page views. So they're just not going to tell you that all of these people that's just visiting your site is engaging. There's some metrics to it, so you can know that they're spending time there. Monetization is important. You want to know what people are buying. If you have an e-commerce site or an app, this is going to tell you what they're buying. If you have a subscription service, you know how much money you're making from that. And you'll be able to get a better idea of your cash flow and how important your website or your app is in generating that. The retention. So again, y'all see how all these reports line up with that reach, convert, engage, and sustain. So this retention report is going to let you know how frequently or how long people are engaging with your website or your app. Are they coming back? And sometimes that can be tricky because again, they're using that back end information and like, how do you know if this person is maybe logging in from another computer? So there's that gray area there, but nonetheless, it's going to give you an idea of how many people are actually coming back to your site and buying again. What pages are they going to? If they're going to your new products page and you notice they keep going back there, maybe it's because they're looking for you to put out something new. And then that's going to go ahead and tell you like, oh, maybe I need to put an update on there, or maybe I need to put a survey up there and ask people, what do they want to see next? The demographics, we talked about this already. A lot of people are familiar with seeing it. It's going to help you classify by age, location, language, gender, all of those things. So when you pull a demographic report, you're getting an idea of the who. Who is this? What do they do? Where are they at? And it can move you on how you can better serve them. So I love this slide. This is the kind of reflection of what happened with Eva and Ricky. So y'all remember Eva and Ricky, their gut instinct told them that they were selling this new shirt to women ages 35 to 44, that they thought that people were going to buy this because they ran some paid ads. And then most of their purchases will come from customers that have already been there. Here's what the analytics data showed. Their top audience were males 25 to 34. The traffic in which they came to their site was from organic search. And then most of their purchases were from first-time visitors. So do y'all see the stark difference between what their gut instinct said and what the analytics actually said? This is why it's so important that we tap into our analytics. So I have a couple more slides to go through. Demi, I need to take a break or you want me to finish up? Probably like maybe 10, but they're like short. So we're just gonna go over some advanced features, and you guys get your questions together if you have them. I'm gonna be answering the questions that you all have in person as well as the ones that might come from online. So I wanna talk about these two areas of dimensions when it comes to advanced features. So what dimensions do is they describe the data that is being pulled down from your website. An example is a dimension of the city is going to describe the city where your visitor is originating from. So the values could be Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, etc. And another dimension could be the device. So now you have a primary dimension that might be the city that that person is in. But if it's important for you to know whether or not somebody is joining from their tablet or their desktop or their phone, then a secondary dimension comes into play. So when you set up the dimensions in your analytics, then now you are able to see, okay, I'm looking at mobile users in the Pittsburgh area. So now you get to target in on that particular focus group and get the information and the data from them. So another example would be, you have the city, which is Pittsburgh, and then the mobile device as the device that they're adding on. But maybe you want to know if they're like what browser they're using. Are they on Safari or Chrome? If it's Safari, that might tell you that they might be Apple users because most of us automatically use that. Whatever information might be relevant for you to layer onto, the dimensions allow you to do that. So this is kind of showing you how you would use the secondary dimension in one of your reports. It's going to let you limit the data that's displayed. So if there's certain things that are important to you, you can just kind of focus in on that area. So you can use dimensions to exclude like internal traffic from particular geographic regions. So say you launch a new product in a certain area and you just want to focus on that area and to see what's happening on your website there, the dimensions allow you to separate it from all of it. So it just helps you take your strategy to the next level for the most part. And this is giving you an example of what this would look like on the report. Another advanced feature is segments. So what segments do is they help you to analyze and understand the trends that are happening in your business by setting up the subsets of your data. So you can use them to isolate data or to analyze performance and even to respond to the different trends that you see. So an example would be Eva and Ricky might want to see if a visitor is coming from a particular country to buy their t-shirts. So what they would do is use the segment overlap technique. So when they do that, they are going to set up different user segments and see how they overlap and relate to each other. So if they're interested in they're interested in a certain country, let's say, they're interested in people buying their shirts that are in Canada, because that's right above us. So then they might want to look at different segments, the people who are buying their shirts on mobile devices. And those are the different segments in that country, right? So Canada, buying a shirt, mobile devices, those are the segments that they're looking to analyze in their data. So you want to dig into segments to help you uncover the insights that you're looking for, which wrap back to all those questions and the goals and objectives that you have set for your business. The explorations tab is access to the left of the navigation bar. And that tab does things like help you to perform searches, configure and switch between different reports. You can drill down into data more. So say you run a report and you're looking at the Pittsburgh region, and if you want to click into that more, and it's going to break down like maybe the different cities or areas within Pittsburgh that people are visiting in. And you can also share your explorations with other users. So if you're working with like a web developer or a social media team, and there's certain like your demographic reports, something that you found that you feel like would be helpful in their marketing, you can go ahead and share that with them as well. So lastly, I'm going to talk about analytics and ads. How many of you all have used Google Ads before? A couple of you. It's really good. I really encourage it, mainly because like whenever you guys are looking for something, where do you go? Google. So that's the same thing with whatever it is that you provide. Like somebody is going to Google looking for whatever your business is. So having a Google ad allows you to potentially show up when somebody is searching for whatever it is that you provide. So, and this is also in the cheat sheet as well. So y'all will have like direct links step by step on how to link the two and everything. So it's important to link it because it's going to help you to understand the visitor's behavior on your website and specifically a paid ads visitor behavior. So you might find that a visitor that's organically coming might look at your shop page, look at your about page, and then not purchase anything. But you might notice that a paid ad user comes in, looks at your about page, goes to the shop and purchases. That's telling you something about their experience. That person that's on ads, they ready to buy. So this is what linking will help you to see. You also can target specific users based off of their previous behavior. So if you find that there are a bunch of users that are on your shop page, you can actually target them based off of that behavior and pitch an ad towards them. Another thing that it'll do is it'll help you define customer groups based off of their activity on your website. And it'll help you better understand your paid traffic and how it's actually benefiting your business. So this is showing you how you would link the product. So to link ads and analytics, you have to make sure that you create an account for each product that you want to link. So if you are showing your, I'll use Taylor example, her lashes, like they're popping, like she knows that she would want to link the lashes as the product to her ad. And then once you set it up, you go to the admin section, and then under properties, that's where you click the product to add it. Again, in your cheat sheet that is on the VIP resources, it walks through that step by step. Y'all also have access. I gave most of you all a flyer that has my information in there. If y'all ever have any questions, like feel free to ask me, just email me and I will definitely help you as much as I can. So we cover a lot of information today. Talk to me now, like what stood out to you guys the most? Like, what do you think that you might implement or do with your business when it comes to making better decisions and using data and insights? Okay, so you want to look at your analytics more, use that data to your advantage. I love that. Anybody else? And that's where the reports, like we can drill down and more to see. Yeah. And I mean, so this is why this workshop is important, because now you see there's traffic there. And what do you do for your business? Okay. So that means people must be interested. You must have something on your website, something on your Google business profile, which is what we talked about last week. So if they're typing in caterers in Pittsburgh and you're popping up, they're seeing something somewhere that's making them want to click your information.
Another question is, in regards to that, what's the hierarchy? Because I know ads come first on Google search, like organic search. Ads will come up, and that's part of the problem with the personal chef and catering. There's so many third-party resource places out there that want you paying out.
Right.
Leads, and they all come up first, then they get into it. Those of us that are just doing it on our own. What's the hierarchy for getting your company higher up in the search?
So that is a technical question. As far as search engine, I got to get you in one of my Google Ads course because we talk in more detail about that. there's different types of ads that you can get that will have you to show up better. Like you bid to show up first and things like that. But a more common app or a more common route for small businesses is our ads where you conduct who is going out to. So you give the keywords, you set the tone. So I say that for us who might not be able to compete with those third-party vendors that are gonna pay to get put right at the top. I promise you, when you run a Google ad, it's popping up in people's YouTube feeds, it's popping up because there's all these other sources that your ad can generate to. But y'all, the strategy behind what you're doing is so key. So instead of being real general about your ad, you might want to be specific and say, I am targeting people that are looking for wedding stuff around whatever wedding season is, or whenever, people start to searching, and target those people just around the Pittsburgh area. Or if you want to branch out to another area that you notice there's not a caterer that's offering what you offer, then focus on that area. The more strategic we are, the more influence that we can see in some of the moves that we make. So that is like my biggest piece, but there is an ads workshop that we do that gives more insight on how the ads and things are broken down. Yep. Does anyone else have any questions?
Are there like organizations that, like, I'll be honest, like, sometimes looking at all the guys, it's kind of like to run A/B testing, there's so much, but like it just seems like a whole other job. And like I'm just wondering, are there organizations that you can say, hey, I really want conversions, I want this or I want that. Help me do that. Print out a report, show me where I should put like my marketing dollars. Like, I don't know. And what would you look at? I know there's a company called Fountains, but they may be working with
large company. There's definitely, if you look up some local marketing companies that might be able to help with that. Another thing is, I think that's why these workshops are important, because it gives you at least that base level knowledge that you need. So if you get an assistant, or even if you hire a virtual assistant from somewhere, like you could probably find somebody who focuses on analytics and reports on something, maybe not Fiverr, but like Upwork or something like that. But now you have that greater information of what you're looking for, because what you don't want to do is hire somebody and say, I just need data. Then they're going to be giving you anything. But now since you had this, you're like, this is my goal. I want to drive more traffic to the site. I want to see my sales increase X amount of % by the end of the year. So can you pull all of these reports that are going to help me to do that? And can you deliver them to me monthly, or, flag me whenever you see an uptick of, I would be interested to see if there is a certain time, like what's the time frame that all them people came? Well, was it wedding season? Was it summer season? People looking. So like, I would be curious, and analytics might help us look into that more. What is it that they were looking for? Are people looking for graduation catering? Is it people who just got married over the summer that's starting to look for caterers for their weddings coming up? Like, they're looking for you for a reason. And that's why this data is important, because it's going to uncover why. So I'm going to breeze through. I got you, Jenny. I'm going to breeze through these, and then we can keep the questions flowing, because I know y'all are probably hungry. And this is just sharing the resources and tips. It's good for us to hear back from you all, like what worked. Even you guys that are on virtual, like tell us what it is that you are going to look at, or kind of just move more towards in the future after learning this information. So this slide is just a very quick recap, reminding you to outline your goals, to ask those questions. And when we are empowered to ask them and know them already, then now we know what we're looking for. You choose the tools that work for you. So try not to allow analytics in that space to overwhelm you. What are you looking for? If you're looking for traffic acquisition, if you're looking for engagement, then focus on those reports and then measure the results and take action. This is just another slide. You might want to take a picture of this. It is to access the VIP portal. I will send another email out to you all who are here today, just to give you that information, as well as I think I got grant opportunities for July. I'll share again. Primer. So Primer is an app that you can add to your phone. You can get quick marketing tools if you're trying to boost your business. You can do it through Primer. Google On Air is where you can access different skills workshops similar to this. You can find classes on Google Ads or YouTube and different things like that. Very similar to what it is that we do. You can find those presentations on air. And then this is just the one-stop shop for everything, you know, when it comes to someone growing in their business and in themselves, like they can go to google.com and grow. I also invite you all to share a story with me about how Google has helped grow your business. That's really important for us to continue to be in these spaces and continue to serve you all, is hearing how we've impacted your business. So I'll be here today. If you want to share a story with me and do a video, you can do that. If you don't like to be on camera, just email me. Let me know how it's helped your business. And we would love to feature you. Some of you all might know Tori, but she was featured on a Grow with Google Instagram page because she shared a learner story. And that is all I have for you all today. I will open up for any questions. Those of you who are in the room, I think it's a great time for food. And then if you would like to stick around because you have any specific questions or need some hands-on help, then I would gladly be able to assist you as much as I can. For those of you who are online, I've been following the chat and I didn't see too many questions or anything. So do you all have any questions?
There were not a lot of questions, Soleil. I just dropped the email for them to submit a learner story.
Awesome.
But I have the entire chat, so.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining. I hope to see you all next week. And Vicki, as long as you have everything that you need.
Let me just double check the chat before we,
Okay.
Just like to double check that.
Next week's topic. Making your website work for you. Yes. You're like, yes, that's it. Yeah, so I tried, well, we all, like myself and the partners, we try to be real strategic about what we offer to you all. I'm hoping that all of the workshops will coincide with one another. So you have your business profile, making sure you're getting found on Google. And then now we have this analytics to making sure you have some background power to learning about your customers and learning about how you can make changes to your site. And the website, making your website work for you, is going to touch over several different things. When it comes to the look and the feel of your website, we're going to touch on analytics and ads again for your website, and just really take a deeper dive into, you know, different things and products that we have that you can add to your site that's going to, you know, just kind of spruce it up. So if you're looking to build a site, most of you all have a website, right? Pretty sure, yeah. Okay. So you're going to get insight on what do I need to look forward to as I'm planning my website, or what do I need to change? It's going to help give that refresher. So, and it's our 5-year anniversary, so it's going to be like a party vibe. So, yeah.
I just shared the link for online to sign up for that.
Thank you, Vicki.
We're good on my end.
Thank you. Well, I am going to go ahead and close the virtual portion. I thank all of you all for coming. Thank you, Michelle. I'm glad you came back.
Okay, we need to touch base.
Okay, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Okay.
I know you
Bye-bye.
dropped your information last week, so I'll make sure I reach out. You do course creation, like online course creation?
Course creation, but I do some specific things, so it may or may not be what you're looking for, but just touch base with me.
I definitely would love to.
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Soleil.
Bye, Vicki. Thank you so much. So you guys can